This is Ronnie, and another found video. I found this one on my SD card. There's quite a few on there, and I loaded all the videos from this one day, which was like 5, 16, 18, and put them in this program. And guess what? I did not need all those clips. It's hard to tell looking at the SD card what you need to load and what not. Um, it was enough. It was like 4 different layouts that I had on that day. So I know I have 3 more. Plus, I can see a lot more on that SD card. Uh, I am going to use glitter for this layout. Glittered cardstock and glittered alphas. The little girls in the picture that I showed have really pretty blue dresses on there in dance class. And so my layout's going to be white with the white background and blue, and then I'm going to have a little bit of pink in there too. Their waistband is pink on their dress, their gloves are pink, and they have a pink bow in their hair. And these pictures are of my sister-in-law's granddaughter. Um, I am making her an album. I have been making her an album for a while. She'll come visit me from Chicago, and thank goodness, well, I don't want to say thank goodness she don't come that often because I do like to see her, but uh, I'll say thank goodness she lets me know she's coming, because like it's been a year and a half. I have 6 pages here. 6, that's it. And I need to get busy because it's getting close to time for her to come visit me again. And one time I spent like the whole 3 weeks before she came working on layouts for her because I didn't have her album finished. But yeah, I like to give her an album every time she comes visit. She always has surprises for me. Mine isn't so surprising since she knows it's going to be a scrapbook, but she looks forward to getting them. And I talked to her last night on the phone, and she gave away 2 of her pages. Her stepdaughter seen them, and they were of her and her dad had passed away, and she went in and gave them away. So she has 2 empty spots in an album, and I think she would like me to go ahead and make her some new pages to go there. And I'll probably make the same thing because I'm sure she would like the same thing since she told me exactly what she gave away. But, it's hard to resist your kids, and if they're wanting something, and she was wanting those layouts. And I am trimming I did punch out some of the hearts out of the cardstock, and I'm going to cut some more, but I stopped, and I'm pretty sure the reason I stopped is because I know I'm going to punch hearts out of the background layer of these photos. But I'm pretty sure the reason I did stop because I knew I was going to do it, because when I am punching out stuff, I'll make sure I use the background layer of photos a lot to conserve on my paper. And since this is glitter cardstock and generally costs more, I am definitely going to conserve on it. But yeah, I punch out of all these photo layers. And I thought I went ahead, and apparently I didn't. I didn't cut all this out. You get to see me punch out all these layers. But it don't take me too long. This cardstock isn't as heavy as the other glitter cardstock that I have. I'd gotten it, I believe, off of HSN years ago, and that stuff was like really fibrous and hard to punch out, and it had glitter everywhere. You'd get done and you'd have glitter for 2 to 3 weeks. It is sitting on a shelf and hasn't got used in a long time. I bought this at Hobby Lobby, and it's by Paper Studio, and it's a lot better glitter cardstock. And of course I used a coupon to get 40% off, and that's like, I love using the coupon from Hobby Lobby. And since it is glitter cardstock, I'm going to have to use liquid glue and let it sit. And I'm pretty sure, because I have used Aleene's tacky glue, but it's thicker and harder to squeeze out, and you definitely can't use it in the fine line unless you had water. Uh, but I had used Art Institution glitter glue for several years before I started using the Aleene's Tacky, and I went back to the Institute glitter glue because it's thinner and it works great. It keeps down what you want to keep down, and it does go in the fine line bottle, and it does not um, clog up. You can squeeze it out pretty good. And you can also buy a tip for the bottle, which I have bought the tip and used the tip with the bottle. And I'm going to add this one picture to dimensionals to foam tape so I can pop it up a little bit. Well, I'm going to add it to the other picture too. But the ones where they're looking farther away, I am not. When I took art class, it was like, anything that looks farther away you want towards the back or to the top of the page so it looks more dimensional. And then closer up, you want it closer to you. You want it towards the front of the page. And so since both of these are closer to me, I decided to add some dimensional tape to the back and pop them up even. And it looks like I'm having some trouble with the dimensional tape. And no, I did not cut that out. I'm letting you watch me mess with that dimensional tape and pull it off. Of course, I'm mostly out of frame, so you're not getting to see it too much. But yeah, it must take me a while to get all of them off. But isn't she cute? She looks adorable in that picture. It looks like such a little sassy pose. Her mama did a really good job of taking that picture. And I'm going to go ahead and start adding my hearts, and I do fuss with them quite a bit, trying to decide if I want 2, in a row or 3 in a row. And I do end up adding 3 in some rows and 2 in others. But considering how plain Jane it is, you wouldn't think it would take me this long to decide how I want them. But looking at the layout now, I love this heart. I love this punch. This is like my favorite bigger heart punch. I do have a Martha Stewart one with little tiny hearts, and I love that one because I can use them to scatter around the page. But this one, like I said, is my favorite. I think it's because it's a little bit quirky. It's longer than the others. The other 2 are both fatter, And one is a dimensional like punch. It's got 3 different punches that you can do, and like in layering or something. And it's really hard to punch. It might have been my favorite. I mean, I thought it was going to be when I bought it, but it's hard to punch, so I don't use it that often. And it jams up, and I can't. It's just hard. You got to make sure the paper's thinner, and it's just harder to work with. And I am adding dimensional tape, foam tape to this picture also, and raise it up. And this picture is the one that helped me decide on what the title was going to be. It looks like she's peeking around the corner and saying, "Do you want to dance?" And so that's what my title is, "Do you want to dance?" I don't know if it was a selfie or what, but it was on Facebook, and I took it. I really like Facebook for the fact that it's so easy to get photos. People, promise to send you photos, and then you're sitting there waiting, and you don't get them. And Facebook, you just go get them yourself. And they all know I do it, and they all know that chances are they're going to get a scrapbook album later with the pictures, because that's my favorite gift to give. And a few times I haven't gave them because I was working overtime and did not have time to make them. And they're like, "Where's my scrapbook album?" So, yeah. And this one I am going to have to do some more work on. 6 pages, just don't get it. She said she's not going to come visit me very soon because it's vacation time at work for everybody, and she is a supervisor, and she has to cover for people that aren't there and to help make sure that everything gets done. But she said after vacation time's over, which usually she comes around Thanksgiving, so I think I'm safe till then. um, I am doing the dance now, and I am using a pink Sharpie. I have done it before, and it's surprisingly how awesome it turns out. These are very old stickers, and if you've seen in the package, they're like all in a pile in there. They're not stuck to the page at all, and so they have no glue on the back, and they've also started to not look as white as they used to. So I haven't used them as white in a long time anyway. But you put the pink Sharpie on there, it looks like they're made that way. They're so pretty. They're still sparkly, and then the white part is no longer white, it's pink, and so it looks really, really good. And it looks like you bought them that way. And of course I'm out of frame down here. uh, Hopefully, well, I will notice it in a minute and move it up, but it's after I get everything down. It's not while I'm doing it. But I haven't glued it all down, so you will see it again before it all gets glued down. I got the D down and I noticed it. But I am slow at putting the glue on, so I'm going to cut that out because it does take a few minutes to put all them on there. And there's the last part of that. And here I'm continuing the hearts across the page. Like I said, instead of using, well, I may or may not have said this because this is like my 5th voiceover. Instead of using a background paper, I'm using the hearts like a background paper and putting them across there. And this one here, I needed it to go down a little bit more, and luckily my glue either hadn't stuck well enough yet, or I didn't have none right there. And so I was able to get that down. Then I decided I needed to add a few more, of course, because multiples is always better. And this is the only heart that goes up on foam tape. But I add it right there, and no, I didn't cover anybody's face when I did it. I made sure of that. And when I put the picture of Chloe on top of the other 2 pictures, I made sure nobody's face got covered on that either. And so I put 3 hearts here, and then I'm going to put one more up in the right-hand corner. But, oh, yeah, I've got to put the sequins on there. I'm using 2 different packages, and they're from Cat Scrappiness, and one has lots of pink ones, and I'm putting them on there, plus the other one is like a Christmas mix, and has little snowflakes and light blue and dark blue ones. The smaller one is a dark blue, and I scattered them around the page. Of course, I kind of picked and choose where I scattered them. I tossed them, and then I glued them down, and I might have moved some an inch or 2 here and there. But I put them on there, and then I put one of each of them up on this heart. And I think that's it. I think that's the last of my layout. And hopefully the last of my voiceovers. If it don't match the video, I'm still going to upload it. That happened on the last one, too. And I think it's because my computer's getting old and freezing up, and it's what's causing the problem. But there's my layout, and those adorable little girls dancing. And I want to thank you all for watching and for sticking with me. I still have most of my subbies that I had, and since this is like my first video in 3 years, that is just awesome. I mean, it has dropped some, but yeah, I appreciate you sticking with me and not unsubscribing. And if you comment below, I'll be sure and comment back, and you can hit the like button if you liked my video. And if you are not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.